Welcome to the Best Today podcast. I am your host, Shantae Grant. And today, y'all, I want to talk very short. I was doing a coaching session a few weeks ago and talking to someone who has a job where she can come in and clients can call or someone can email and need something, and it actually be an actual time sensitive thing. And so sometimes her days can be planned, because I'm going to tell you always plan every day the day before. But she says, when I come in 4 out of 5 days in the week, something's going to happen that's going to toss the plan that I have. And so I gave her this one simple thing, and I thought I'd give it to you today. And that's it. And that is when you are planning. So here's the thing. I talk to people all the time who say, oh, I can't plan the next day, or I absolutely cannot plan the next day because of X, Y, and Z. Everyone can plan the next day. And the question is how much flexibility you need to leave within that. And so I gave her this. When you are planning your day for work, right, you're going to have 2 categories, non-negotiables and flexible. That's it. I can be done with the podcast. So, but I'll elaborate, of course. So if your days typically include some type of whether it's an emergency or someone comes in and says someone else has the authority to change your plan. So you make a plan, but someone comes in who has the rank and authority in your job to say, actually, no, do this instead. No, do this instead. Here's how I want, when you plan your day the night before, I want you to have, what are my non-negotiables? Non-negotiable means I got to get this done before I leave this place tomorrow. Whether it's because here's a deadline to the court, deadline to a client, deadline to whomever, or this is literally has to be turned in, or this has to be done to get to the next person who then themselves needs to meet a deadline. Someone is waiting for this from me for this day, right? That's my non-negotiable. Or I have to make progress on this thing because I have a big thing due coming up. So you have your non-negotiables. And you want to make that smaller, particularly if your job is typically that someone's going to come in and really flex in a lot of new things in your day. And then the second part of your planning is flexible. Flexible is anything that if it doesn't get done tomorrow, that's okay. I can move it to make those things that are, let's say you have non-negotiables and flexible. You get to work, you're able to get through your non-negotiables, but all your flex gets taken up. Either make the flex the non-negotiable the next day, or is that truly a flex that can flex for a while, right? And then of course, there's always coming in and having that conversation with your boss or your leader or team lead or whatever, and say, hey, I just want to be really clear. You just gave me those 3 things. Remember, I had these 4. Do you want me to put these 4 kind of below this, or do you want me to knock out those 4, any of those 4, before getting to the 3 things you just told me? Conversations, y'all, you can talk to people like humans, because what I'm communicating when I say that to you is, hey, I note that you say this is important, but you've also given me these other things, and I want what you want, right? I want what's best for the company. I want what's best for the team. I want what's best for the client. And you tell me, because right now you told me this, and my understanding is these things. Now you're coming in and say this. So do you want me to bump these and push this here? Like, you let me know, or would you like me to make that call? But having that conversation now also makes people aware of what's actually also on your plate. So I think it's really important to think about planning your day, if that is the case, as non-negotiables and what's flexible. Right now, the flexible can be moved to the non-negotiable for the next day, or continue to move as flex as a non-negotiable. And again, some days maybe you get through your whole day. But if something truly does come up that takes precedence, now you know where it fits in. You still got to get non-negotiables in. And maybe you're thinking, well, what if someone comes in and says, hey, forget about your non-negotiables? Well, we need to have a conversation, right? Because Bob is waiting for me to get this, to me today at 3. And I've already made a commitment to Bob. If you'd like to have a conversation with Bob, right? Because you got to if there are levels in your job, then we got to be like, hey, I'm happy to roll with whatever, but let's make sure that my word and my integrity is intact at the end of the day. Because I told Bob I was going to get this at 3. Now, boss, who happens to be over Bob, Jennifer, if you want to call Bob and use your rank and tell Bob, actually, in fact, Shantae won't be getting that to you at 3 o'clock today because I've called her on something else, you go right ahead. But for now, I have to keep my word to Bob if that's what the job was. And so it's really also just that open communication so that everyone is aware of what's going on, because then we can really bring to light what is the true priority, what is the true emergency, and what is it you put a regular thing in an emergency's clothing. At Best Today, we exist to help women just like you be your best one today at a time. So each week on the podcast, we are going to highlight your stories and your voices. So let's see what's in the inbox today. Today, we have a 5-star review of the Best Today Guide coming from Jamie, who writes, "My joy infusion. I'm obsessed. I'm on my 5th Best Today Guide, and I intend to never go back to a BTG-less life. I'm a litigator and mom of 3 in the process of building a house. So let's just say I have a bit to keep up with. The BTG, which stands for Best Today Guide, helps me not only keep up with the balls in the air, but gives me a format to remember and focus on why I've got them spinning in the first place, and ask if I really need all the balls I've placed in my hands. The relief I experience from knowing what I am doing and why I'm doing it has created a Pavlov's dog's experience of just seeing the book brings me joy. I have sent copies to my sisters, sister-in-laws, friends, and I love talking to them about how they are taking steps to meet their individual big goals. This book is beauty, folks. I hope you jump into discovering your best today too and love it as much as I have. Thank you so much." And she even includes pictures. So if you want to go see her smiling face and her Best Today Guide, you can go to besttoday.co right now. Click on the Best Today Guide under Shop, which is also found under our daily planning. It's under all of the planning and routine tab as well, but we'll also link it directly for you right here where you're listening to make it even easier. Scroll down, you'll see the link for the Best Today Guide. Click on that, go read the reviews, and order your Best Today Guide. And the great thing is when you order it, it comes with your first month in the Best Today community for free. So go right now and get your Best Today Guide and learn how to plan it in a way that honors all of you, not just the person who has to do things every single day. Okay. besttoday.co, or you can scroll down and link. And thank you so much, Jamie, for that beautiful 5-star review. And guess what? A regular thing in emergencies clothing is a regular thing. Okay. You just ran the wrong outfit. And so I want to treat emergencies and time sensitive things as they need to be, but also we're not making everything time sensitive. If we're doing that, you know what it's telling me? Y'all need to hire more people. You need to hire more people or train more people to do this thing. Okay. But I just wanted to give that to you as a really simple tool, and maybe that will bring some help from you all. So when you're planning in your Best Today Guide, maybe have your top lines as your non-negotiable. Of course, you might want to put that in one of your today's priority, or make your box over to the side your non-negotiables, or make that your flex space. You have that empty box in the Best Today Guide, and then you have the line side. Make one side your non-negotiable, one side your flex. And then you want to clearly leave space for room for something that might come in, particularly if that is just the nature of your job. I hope that helps you. That non-negotiable plus the flex when planning your days. If you have follow-up questions, please let me know. You can send me an email anytime at hello@besttoday.co. You can leave a message at besttoday.co/voice, which we have linked below right here in the show notes. Just scroll down. So thank you so much for being present for today's episode of the Best Today podcast. The best way to support this podcast is what you're doing right now, listening, but then sharing it with someone else and letting me know you listen, whether that is leaving a review, whether that is emailing us, leaving us a voice message, because guess what? The data shows us the numbers, but it doesn't show us the humans. I don't actually know you listened, because if your phone hits play and just plays it out, that gets tracked as a number, but it doesn't tell me that a human actually consumed my words. So let me hear from you. You can go to besttoday.co/voice. To read and hear more from me, you can go to my Substack, which is For Those on the Journey, which you can find at forthoseonthejourney.com, linked right below as well. And if you want to listen to more episodes, we have them broken down by category at besttodaypodcast.com, or episode 151, which breaks down the first 150 episodes. So that's a great resource. Go find that one, flag it, listen to it later. Thank you again for listening, and I will talk to you in the next episode of the Best Today podcast. This podcast is provided for you every week by Best Today, where we are on a mission to help you to live and work well. We do this by creating resources that bring intention to how you plan, schedule, work, and live. You can get started in one of 3 easy ways. First, by taking our product quiz at besttoday.co/quiz. 2, joining us in our online community, the Best Today community, at besttoday.co/community. Or 3, connect with us through email at besttoday.co/email, all of which are linked below in the show notes. To learn more about our company and what we do, visit besttoday.co and join thousands of customers around the world pursuing a life of intention, one today at a time.